process. Should I stay or should I go there? Tokyo, longing for your avenues. I cannot get tired of you. Walking on the streets again, feeling lonely and blue. Tokyo, will we ever meet again? Do you remember me too? I am so addicted to you. Tokyo, I am so addicted to you. I am really wanted to get it right.
Do a quick mic check.
Hey, everybody.
I remember I don't actually need to talk so loud. How's everyone doing?
What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right?
All right, looking good.
Follow my heart, but I lost it somehow.
Doing a little bit shorter pre-show tonight. Honestly, the less pre-show we have to do, the better. But I know it's like good to get people gathered and in the stream first. So we'll see how it goes. But tacking on an extra 10 minutes onto that final run time, I feel like is scary to people. So hopefully this will help make it look a little more reasonable. All right. We'll see you in just a few minutes. So
It's Monday, March.
This crazy world, I feel like I was never hurt. All I wanted was to be loved. All I wanted.
Kelly, yes, I do.
What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say.
Mirai's 17th actual birthday.
And Danny's teaching us how to remove stains.
It's Monday, March 4th, and this is your Smart Doll News.
Happy Monday. It's Mirai Monday. It is Mirai's birthday.
We got party hats. I told John I wanted to wear mine like I'm a unicorn.
I didn't say anything.
I'm a unicorn.
Go right ahead. Yeah. So it is Mirai's birthday, and it's kind of a big deal because it's her 17th birthday. And as Danny has said many times, Mirai is forever 17, but now she's actually 17.
So this is the 1 year where it's like her actual 17th birthday.
Yeah, which is very cool. I did want to kind of point out, talk a little bit about the significance of this before we dig into the rest of the show. And I should mention, if you're interested in seeing more about the kind of the journey of Smart Doll itself over the past 10 years at least, you should check out our video in the description from DollCon Dallas, where we went through the history of Smart Doll. I do want to note it is also the 17th anniversary of like Culture Japan, the whole brand, the whole shebang, which started with Mirai and continued on from mascot all the way to Smart Doll.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's a really interesting story. If you haven't checked out that video, check it out.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. We don't actually go into the Culture Japan years. It's more of a precursor to the the Smart Doll, but it might be something that if everyone is interested in seeing more of those types of videos, that we can start to put together for you. I thought that was worthy of celebration. Lots of big 10th anniversary of Smart Doll this year, 17th birthday for Mirai and for Culture Japan. It's a big milestone year.
Yeah, it is. Very big, very big. And we still have Cheese birthday coming up too. Very shortly.
Yes. On the 16th?
14th, I think.
Sorry.
I could be wrong.
I also do want to give a shout out to one of our court members, the Barbie Witch. She posted this in the Discord. I wanted to call it out on the show. She published an article with a publication called Elephants and Tea, which is all about having conversations about the things we don't like to talk about, and it is targeting young adults with cancer. And she talks all about her experience battling cancer and how dolls played into her recovery. Very, very good read. It's just fantastic. So, with that in mind, we will dig in to first up, we've got a new section in the apparel section for the subsection in the apparel section for pair bodies.
Right. So if you want stuff for pair, things that fit pair are all going to be put in there. Well, I think things that are made for pair. And then there are some things that cross over. Yeah.
But it's everything that'll fit pair. And we also have the release of 2 new pair specific apparel items. We've got our sweater here.
Yep, which can also be used on the classic girls. But so the purple came out in the baggy cardigan.
And my personal favorite, the floral capris, which you can see her rocking hers.
Yeah, those are awesome.
So
did we order those or did we not because we weren't ordering anything else?
We did not order them.
Okay.
No. So that's fantastic. So that was kind of in and amongst some other drops. We had 2 big back-to-back awakenings over the weekend. So a whole bunch of dolls came out. And we're not going to go through every single one, but
there's your list.
There's your list
of people that were either awakened or just came out.
And there's a couple of these that Danny wanted to note, but for the most part, all these girls are going to keep coming. So, like, don't freak out if you didn't get the ability. I think Marvel came up twice.
Yeah, I think people are like, oh my god, do I need to buy a pair now? No.
Nope. You can wait. They'll be there.
Wait. They're all part of the storytelling with the girls with differences. They are frontline. They will be here.
Yep. So really good to see, but there's a couple of caveats to that. Two of these are kind of representing the end of something. First up is Transcendence in Gray. This is
so
the anime
cute.
Transcendence in
She's
Gray.
very cute in Gray. Yeah, so that is the last drop of Gray for the foreseeable future, I believe is what he said.
He said specifically, she is the last of the Gray girls for the foreseeable future. So I don't know if this is the last drop of Gray, or they still have more Gray anime Transcendence heads that they'll be doing drops of, but it won't be anybody else.
Or does it mean he's just not going to put any other girls in Gray?
Well, that's what I mean.
He's not going to make any more. Like he might bring back Gray Fortitude or Gray Future or something like that, but he's not bringing out anybody new.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's a little slightly unclear. Worst case scenario, this is the very last drop of Gray. I don't think so, because I think he would have made a bigger deal out of it. I think this is, at the very least, no more new girls in Gray. Lee pointed out, if he said no more Gray girls, that doesn't exclude boys.
Right, and we already know that the boy is planned to be Gray. He's going to be a vampire boy, and he's going to be Gray.
Yep. So that's coming. So yeah, we may see some clarification from Danny on this, on what exactly he means, but
that's probably what it is. He's taking the Gray, the opportunity for the Gray resources, when he's actually making Gray vinyl. It's going to be for the boy.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean that Gray can't come back, but he does say for the foreseeable future. So, for a while, we're pausing on Gray. Again, we haven't seen much. Pausing on Gray for the girls probably does mean ramping up for the Gray boy release. And it also could mean more resources to Black Navy. We have only seen one doll, Divergence, in Black Navy. So it's hard to see where the resources will shift. But there is always something that is going to take up those resources.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, I personally think we will see more Gray vampire girls, whether it's semi-real or anime, drop when the boy drops. Or not long after. Because people are going to be asking for Gray girls that they didn't get to go with their boy.
Possibly.
But that's just a thought.
So, unclear at the moment. But we'll keep our eye on it for you. We also have Transcendence Semi-Real Cyber Shell Edition. What is the last here?
The color of the lines. No more brown.
So the brown lines, which to me really sort of deliver more of the separation or seam lines look, versus a conduit sort of look.
Or the fact that these don't look like there's any glow from inside coming through, which is what the purple and stuff is supposed to look like.
I guess it never quite reads that way to me, but yes, right. But the purple, I believe, should be the replacement for this. So it's not saying the cyber body for Cinnamon's going away. It's just the color is changing. No more brown.
Michaela Rose is asking, will he make anime characters as Smart Doll, because a lot of people will buy it? Well, there is a whole anime section.
Yep, there's anime style characters already available, and that he does. There was a number of anime girls that released. For instance, Transcendence. We also had Fortitude and Melody and North. but if you're talking about girls from animes, i.e. licensed girls, licensed take a lot more work and a lot more time and are very brief.
And he's done a large number of them, but has said that he's not going after any new licenses. But who knows? He looks like he may be revisiting some of the old ones.
Yep. So right, we do have the only sign of a licensed. The only signs we have for licensed dolls coming out at this point is Naruto, whenever it ever gets approved finally, and what's her face from One Piece,
Nami.
We've seen in the behind the scenes photos that he's been recreating some Nami heads,
and he also we've also seen Mika from Cinderella Girls.
Right. Wait, no. So it wasn't Nami. It was Mika. Then I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Nami,
maybe, but
Nami he did that. Yeah. So scratch that. Forget what I said about Nami. It's Mika from Cinderella Girls. Anyway, probably less and less coming out at this point based on what he has said. So we have. We have that for the end of this. They also have a note about Chaos.
Yeah, the upcoming Chaos drop is set to be larger than anticipated. Releasing all items simultaneously isn't feasible, so they're going to be doing them in a staggered fashion over a bunch of days.
Now, when he says, all these items, what type of, Chaos items should we be expecting?
Painted heads.
Right, okay.
Probably some leftover bodies would be my guess.
He did say that. I'm not sure whether those are going to be a specific buy a Chaos body, like an actual SKU, or if it's going to be in the Chaos bundles, which are the big random bag or box full of stuff.
Right, and then we saw bins of apparel in some of the pictures, so there is going to be some apparel in there.
Yep.
I would guess probably shoes as well.
We have
wigs.
Yeah, Chaos wigs. Chaos blank heads are usually a whole package as well. So beyond just the big Chaos, the ultra. No. Why is the U word not? Why is it escaping?
Utter.
The Utter Chaos bundles. They beyond that, you have specific bundles of types of things. So. We'll see those get released over a period of days from the sound of it. Though knowing our luck, I'm traveling next week, and that's when it's going to drop. So if it does drop then, and we do pick some up, we'll probably be behind the 8 ball on doing an unboxing for you guys.
The nice thing about it is we're in different time zones, so whenever he decides to drop them, we have a better chance of being able to get something because we'll be awake at different times.
Yeah, but I'll be in Europe, and we know how well it's.
I don't know. In the past couple of months, he has been dropping stuff at nice times for Europe.
Yeah, we'll see. So.
No name, no last name says, could there be a pair Chaos? We did see some pair heads, I think, in the pictures.
Not a pair Chaos. Pair items will be in Chaos, but you won't be able to select them. This is what he has previously said. So we've got Chaos coming out. Still don't know when, but he did say early March. So if it's not this week, my guess is it's next week. But of course, from the sound of it, getting this all prepped is proving, a bigger job than he was anticipating.
Kathy Coney asks, can I get Chaos if I bought from Fabric Friends, or does it have to be Danny's site? It has to be, I believe it has to be the Smart Doll site. You have to have made 2 separate purchases.
Yeah, it's possible, but he doesn't, as far as I know, it's not like he has a tie-in to the database for his, the official retailers. So, there's no real way for him to confirm that other than you telling him. So, and then that involves researching and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So the rule is actually that you have to have purchased 2 separate times from the Smart Doll site.
Yep.
It used to be 3, or was it 4? I can't remember. It may have been 4.
It's gone down. It's changed at different points in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is also one of the reasons why I get it with like shipping being about, well, on small stuff it's about $20. On a doll it's about like $40 for USD at least. It is, I mean, it's not amazingly cheap shipping, but if all you ever do is like splits with people on Facebook, you're not building that relationship.
And you don't have to buy a doll when you order. It just has to be 2 separate purchases, and you just have to buy something.
Yeah. Kelly asks, do you think Danny would ever do a pair only Utter Chaos? I think right now is the time when he has the most pair chaos because of all of the development, and this has been gathering for quite some time. But that's not to say that, I think it just depends on how much stuff they have and how easy is it for them to separate things out. Most of the time it's separated out by what is it, skin tone, when they separate it out, like painted heads, you get to choose heads. I think mostly is when you get to choose skin tone,
right.
And body parts. So when you're choosing like a body part, like shells or
or frames or anything like that, you can get to choose.
Yeah. So let's move on. Danny also put out this lovely lady.
I think she's so pretty.
We have seen as a prototype, and she was being slated for the prototype garage. She did not make the cut to become a full release doll until Danny decided he'd ask all of us, i.e. you, not us, but the royal us. So Danny put a poll on Twitter to see if people really, really want her. And
83% said save her. Make her available.
Yes. She's definitely a strong reaction from people. Although, I think a lot of people will say, I don't know, it's like, the one problem with this question is, by default, I'm pretty sure everyone's like, unless there's something that they see wrong with the doll, everyone thinks Danny should make every single doll all the time.
Right. I think she's very cute, though. She reminds me a bit of Not Everything to Everyone or Pride. She's got those different eyes, which is very cool.
Dreaming of Dolls had a couple of name suggestions that they gave to Danny. Something to Someone, or More to the Story.
I like More to the Story.
I like, I kind of like both, but I think, yeah, Something to Someone may be a little bit too much of a play on the Not Everything to Everyone.
Not Everything to Everyone is kind of like the opposite of that would be like, it reminds me of the song from Waitress, You Matter to Me.
Yeah.
That would be like a really good name.
Yeah. Well, that's a weird, it's again, it goes away from the concept like that he does.
I guess.
It's a little bit weirdly specific. But both interesting ideas. If you have ideas for names for this pair girl, drop a note in our comments. And while you're there, I think you should take a moment and give this video a like. Hit that thumbs up, open up Handpack 1, and help us spread this video to more people and help build the community.
Michelle Murphy says Mini Sandy. I was actually going to ask about that because I've been holding out hoping that there would be a Live and Let Live without freckles.
Yeah.
But do you think I could use that other one?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to stare at them, like, both, and you. I'd have to, like, make you stand next to the monitor.
The first time I saw Live and Let Live, when he, like, didn't have the freckles on her, I was like, that's my mini-me. That's totally my mini-me. I can see it. I can see the red hair on her, Yeah. And so that's what I've been waiting for.
He did we still haven't seen Live and Let Die.
That's what I had suggested, was that he take Live and Let Live and give her fangs.
Yep.
And call her Live and Let Die. And he said he was going to do it.
Would you do the fanged version as your mini you if it didn't have freckles?
Yeah, I totally would. Cause like, look.
Yeah, no.
I got them.
She got fangs. We've got a few more stories to get into tonight. But before we do, we've got our Smarty party for the week, and I've taken the liberty of going back through the history of the Smarty party and pull in some pictures of Mirai that I found to kind of bulk it up a little bit. I think it's a good time for everyone to take this time to wish Mirai a happy birthday.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up all our friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone. Making plans so fast we go, worried us when no one knows just how we want it. Going left, going right, doesn't matter tonight, just how we want it. We want it. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else. We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone.
Welcome back, everybody. Quick thank you to the Barbie Witch for your super chat, who said happy birthday, Mirai, and also that if she could, she would have given more money to help get Mirai sauced.
We got her a Squishmallow.
Yeah, we do. You can see it. Mirai's holding a birthday present, which we will open up at the end. And see what's inside. Hopefully, it's not a smelly one like the ones I got Sandy for her birthday. Let's get back in to our news. Danny made a post at the very end of February, basically about Black History Month, and like laying out, displaying all of the Coco dolls, which is fantastic to see them all there. So many, and very pointedly makes a list of other companies that have black dolls in their availability.
And he knew it wasn't an exhaustive list, so he asked people to put more in the comments. So if you look up that, if you're looking for black dolls, then you can actually go to that post and take a look at the list, and then take a look at the comments underneath, because other people mentioned other kinds of dolls.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of. I'd love to see this maybe compiled even more. But I know Danny is working on actual like posts on the Smart Doll site, I think, for this. Oh, you're gonna show off your new future.
Yep.
She was late to the party and couldn't get into the tableau. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to exclude her.
She was upstairs getting a brand new dress made, but I didn't finish the dress yet. And so that's why she didn't make it into the picture. But here she is.
She's very cute. And Danny also made a note about Coco Marvel. And this is something I have been commenting on for quite a while. And I guess enough other people were commenting on it, that Danny has darkened her eyebrows.
Legion actually has the same issue too.
Yes. Yeah, those same, it is, he for whatever reason with those two dolls, he didn't use, they're more of a gray. It's a slightly, not quite black. And it's not the same black that he uses around like the black eyeshadow or the eyelashes and stuff. So he changed it. And I think it's so much nicer. The Cocos, I personally would love to see Danny experiment with new paint that can get even darker for the Coco girls.
Yeah.
I just, they really want some more contrast, I think.
I do think it was funny because I didn't particularly notice the issue until he made this post, and then I went, okay, I didn't notice this, but I do like this change.
Yeah.
Like I think she looks way better with the darker eyebrows.
It's I think it's just you want as much contrast as you can get with the Coco skin tone. And in general, I mean, you can even see here, it's still a fairly reflective paint. So it starts to, as soon as you get light on it, you start to wash it out. If you take that and brighten it up even a couple notches, it really starts to soften and kind of drown out the features. But yeah, she looks great. Really, again, the sort of changeover in the last few years, in the last year even, and really seeing Danny lean hard into customer feedback. This is great. Next up.
Welcome back to My Lady Disdain.
Yes. On this episode of My Lady Disdain, you are, Danny talks about pigment stains. Now, what's the deal with pigments? What are the pigments, pigment dyes or whatever, versus like normal dyeing?
I'm not sure what we're referring to. So you go ahead.
Okay. So, pigment dyes are basically just like, it's almost like, all right, this is gonna be a weird analogy, but it's almost like if you roll around in dirt and now your shirt is brown, like it's pigment, like powders and stuff that is like on the surface of the thing.
Right.
They use it a lot in the
Mirai pants and stuff like that.
I'm not sure if it's the Mirai pants, but like the stuff that is like distressed and things like that. And because Mirai pants may be more of like a tie-dye thing that they're doing. I'm not sure. But a lot of the shirts, it's like a grungy gray. It's gray, but it's got like some darker spots and stuff,
Mhm.
as he shows here in this picture. Um, those will leave like it's almost like dusty, like a dusty coloration. Like you can almost see the little speckles, like,
Right.
but they don't come off. And so Danny actually put out a video, and it's a link in the description. You should go watch it. But using some like art paint thinner, he uses Mr. Color thinner, or there's a he recommends one in this video that is more available in the United States.
Right. He actually particularly showed the picture. He was at Michael's to get it.
Yeah.
So when he came to the States, he went shopping for stuff to remove pigment.
And it's really interesting here because you can kind of see it in this clip that I've got looping here. It's like you have to kind of rub it around, and it lifts it, but it also kind of moves it. Like it's like really kind of almost static, electrified, like just clinging to the vinyl. But because it's not a chemical bond like most dyes are, it is not. It's more sitting on the surface of the vinyl, and it needs to kind of like be broken off versus using some of the other techniques like benzoyl peroxide and stuff like that.
I've recently been using I finally got some of the Remove Zit from Twin Pines and the follow-up cleanser, the 911 cleanser.
Yep.
But that's for stains that have been sitting there and are starting to soak into the vinyl.
And very specifically, like the time doesn't matter here. This is the type of dye. This is a result of particular ways of changing the color of the shirt. So we're talking about chemical dyes versus pigment dyes. So the pigment, are just embedded onto the surface versus being chemically bonded into the fiber.
Right.
So this will work for particular types of clothes. It will depend on how they were dyed. In the article that he wrote, he goes through explaining what each of the ratings mean, and everything that is pigment wash is marked as a medium risk.
Okay.
And things that are here, he has the links to Speedball, which is the product that he's using in the video, and that he got from Michael's. And yeah, I do want to note, Barbie Witch says that I couldn't believe how dainty I'd been. There we go. Danny, you can see Danny really kind of going to town. You do have to be concerned about rubbing too hard, because you could start to take off like he's doing. Like the fact that he's demonstrating this on a cyber
body, yeah,
is insane to me. But it works, and he's rubbing, I think, fairly vigorously. But just go light and keep working at it. But a lot of what they do for CJ clothes is pigment dyed. It varies, but but things like your leather boots, like when leather boots stain the ankles and stuff of a smart doll, this is not going to work.
Yeah, then in that case you bring in I'm using the Removes It now, which I've always been a fan of the Oxy 10, the acne treatment wrapped in the plastic, get it warm, put it in the sun, whatever, keep doing that. It's very messy. The Removes It, you're getting a small jar, you don't have to use very much because it's more of like a putty type texture. So you just take a little, I've been using a bamboo skewer, and I just take a teeny tiny bit and put it on the stain and just leave it sit, and it doesn't get all over the counter. It will remove color off of your clothes if you don't wash your hands, but it doesn't get all over the place like using acne treatment does.
A couple other things to note here. I was like, "What is this?" And I realized this the hat I'm still wearing. Um, uh, uh, it's not something you always necessarily think about or that we talk about a lot, but the warranty on the Smart Doll covers. They have aftercare for breakages. So if you like snapped an ankle by somehow which shouldn't happen, especially with the Evolve brand, but
Mhm.
um, uh, colored discoloration from staining or even just the aging of the vinyl is not something that's covered.
Right. That's just the changing of the color of the vinyl is
It's
to be
gonna
expected. It's going to happen. It might happen slower if you keep them out of the sun, etc., and so forth, but it's still going to happen.
Yep.
So it's not covered.
Definitely a lot of things to do. I feel like we really should kind of dig into you know like a more comprehensive video of like how do you know like what's been pigment dyed versus not, or how do you like generally you can see like to me pigment when pigment stains happen, they are like a more of a darkening. They're like it looks dirty in that area.
Mhm.
Versus uh dye stains are a harsher, like they get darker, and henceforth they get darker at places of pressure like really
Right.
easily. Um so it's not that you can't get it, but like if you've got like a line, you know, I mean, it could be a pigment stain, but probably it's it seems to be my experience to be more of like a standard dye.
Mhm.
Um,
No name, no last name said, "Did I dream it, or does what apparel was described with a staining risk index?" Yes, Danny mentioned that. John mentioned that. When you go and look at a piece of apparel on the website, it actually says whether the stain risk is low, medium, high.
yep. So if there's high, they you should be putting like leggings, bodysuits, and things like
Mhm.
that on it. Or yeah, as they suggest, a spare body if you want to completely mitigate the risk. But
Having just completely destained your forger from Volks because she had on her Thorn Princess outfit with no bodysuit, I can say definitely do this. Use a different body, do something, use stain prevention gear, because taking all of those stains off of that body was
yeah,
a pain in the neck.
yeah, and get used to it. So Danny does a lot of testing and puts the rating in there, and they are in general, I'm sure not infallible, but quite reliable in terms of knowing the risk. They do a lot of testing with their stuff, and they know their product, and they're transparent about it. You don't see this with like Volks stuff. And the assumption with Volks clothes on any vinyl doll is that if they're
It's
not
probably gonna stain if
white,
it's
it's
yeah.
probably going to stain.
Yeah. I mean, and for those of you who are watching this that are not all that experienced with vinyl dolls, and clothing, just things that you're going to watch out for is anywhere where, like John previously said, anywhere that it's tight. A black skirt with a tight waistband is going to leave a nice mark around the waist of the doll. Dark socks will leave marks. I'm just trying to think of some of the other things that, like dark underwear that hasn't been tested, etc., will leave marks.
Sherry says, anyone try to remove the dye from a Coco doll? I'm scared to lighten her skin tone. She has black dye stain from a pair of pants. Um, I haven't seen specific feedback on it, but I
I
have seen
have
that. Go for it.
that Danny has said that pigment is in the vinyl. It's not going to come out from using stain prevention type thing or stain eliminating type things.
So if generally what should happen with using like peroxide or something like that is you'll probably freak out because it will be bright. It will look brighter.
Yep.
But that will should fade over time.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I've done blue, I've done gray. I have not done cocoa yet, but I have done blue and gray, and they do lighten up a little bit, and you start to go, oh. But within like a day or two, that color has gone back to matching.
Yeah. Any other questions that people have about this or anything else we covered tonight?
So then we can become Lady Disdain again instead of Lady Disdain.
Yes. Yes. And by the way, there's no T in our name. Unless we're drinking it. There's no T in disdain unless we're drinking it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Smart Doll So Joe says the vinyl is like the synthetic fabrics that don't stain. It's because the pigment is embedded during the heating process and won't come out or stain. Yeah, it is the color of the vinyl is the color of the vinyl. It shouldn't change.
Right. And no name, no last name says, what about shoes? They can definitely stain the foot. I wouldn't worry too much about like vinyl shoes, but black vinyl shoes on a vinyl doll, because that's the same case as the bodies. The vinyl itself is that color. But for things like, even like I had a pair of black CJ boots on a doll for a while, like she had been wearing them for months.
Yep.
And I took them off and she had black stains on her feet. It's just a matter of like protecting the foot.
I mean, there is something to be said that like a lot of these treatments are like, using UV light to help essentially bleach out the stain, and UV light is going to damage the vinyl. Like if you leave the dolls out in the sun, you're going to eventually, you're going to cause a chemical reaction inside the vinyl. But the thing is the amount of time that you're actually spending doing that is so minuscule that it really, it's not likely that you're going to ever see any sort of real impact by treating your doll for stains. Even with a UV light, you would have to be using ridiculously powerful UV lights and leave it there for a very, 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 very long time.
I generally will, like, we have a lot of dolls, so I will generally periodically change the clothes on like 5 or 6 of them, and just do it in rotation. I just hadn't gotten to that particular doll yet, but in rotation I change them so that I can keep an eye on the fact of whether they're getting stained or not.
As Holly K says, socks are really useful for like shoes, because shoes do tend, like especially leather, do tend to stain. So make them realistic. Start to layer. Get your layers in there. Don't send the girls walk around commando all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless they're into that.
They can do what they want.
Yeah, whatever.
It's their party.
So that is I think that's gonna do it for that. We of course want to wish once again Mirai a happy birthday, and Danny, Jay, and the rest of the Culture Japan team, congratulations on 17 amazing years.
17/10.
Well, yes, but not plus 10.
No, /10.
Yes.
17 years of of
Culture.
Mirai and Culture Japan.
Yes.
And 10 years of Smart Doll.
So we love the directions that you're taking with the company and the changes that you're making, and keep up the good work. We also need to say a thank you to our Discord subscribers. We have a lot of fantastic people helping to keep this channel running. We couldn't do this without you. And of course, each week, our super Smarties with your super chats and super thanks. This is kind of a culmination of a few videos, but I know a number of those are birthday presents to you, Sandy.
Yeah, I was very touched by all of the birthday super chats and super thanks. Thank you so much.
And yeah, we hope you enjoy the party with us, and we will see you not next week, but the week after.
Mirai wants to open her birthday present.
I almost forgot. So those of you who haven't abandoned the stream, we've got a present to open. Go for it.
I gotta find the opener. Where is the opening on these? There's no little slitty thing.
When in doubt, cut it out.
Oh wait, this looks like it. Here, you do it.
No, here it is.
Little moment of squee for y'all before we go.
There you go.
Okay. This is one of the mystery squishmallows. I found it at Target. I'm a squee. It's a cow. It's a little cow.
Give it to her. Give me my squishmallow. There. She has her squishmallow.
Very cute.
Happy birthday, Mirai.
We'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.